Hey Freya, hey Freya, hey baby. Me little girl, she's very hot. Aren't you? I'm a very hot girl. Yeah. I was going for the core. I have actually tried husky hair. It's not very good. But you would think when you get to the down coat underneath it, it's all fluffy and soft, that it would be. And it smells terrible as well. So don't try your dog hair. I have heard that pubic hair works. Again, it'll smell. But if you're desperate, you try anything. If you want a fire. You know, you don't want a fire, do it? It's too hot. Okay. So I'm going to make up a torch. Ooh. These are some old willow sticks, offcuts that I kept in the garage. Because I've done with a couple more maybe. But if you just get a good handful, as I said, a few more might have been better. Whether it'll work or not, I don't know. I've never used willow. Larch is a good one. I like the larch trees. You can just pick them off dead. You can get a bundle in no time. But this is what I've got handy, so I'm going to try it. If you get the bundle together somewhat and get a bit of cordage, you can use paracord if you want. You can use twine like this, natural cordage if you want. Whatever you like. Basically, we're just going to bind the bottom together with a simple overhand knot, and as tight as we can get it. It's the same principle I've done on the other video if you've already seen it. Doesn't really matter because it's all going to get burned. We'll hold that down. Might put another one on. This is raffia. Just come to me what it is. We use this from cordage making with children and young people that have never done any natural cordage, because it works really well. Hello, Ozzy. Yeah, you're not eating it. There you go, just another simple overhand knot. You're basically just trying to bind them together a bit. If you can find them at the end there. And it doesn't snap. And the joys of natural materials. Of course, you could spend the time making proper cordage out of nettle, bramble, bark, roots, anything that's going to bind your bundle together. But this is just ease for me. Shove some more back in. It's just trying to hold that whole thing together, because what you want to do is hold that middle out, and that's where you're going to put your grasses and the tops. In the tops. Might put another one on that. As I said, it doesn't really matter what it looks like, as long as it holds together, because it's all going to be burnt. Yeah, I got it. It only snapped the end of it. That's a bit better, a bit tighter. And then you want to hold the centre of that out. Ish. The beauty of doing this is you've actually got your tinder and your kindling all in one. If it works. So you're looking just to try and make a centre core. So if we find some grasses, which I've got a few bits left in here, I will go and gather some more and show you how to make a bird's nest. So if we get these into the core of this, as I say, this is one of my preferred methods over the bird's nest, because when it's done properly and stuffed correctly, it really works and is easy. And you want to shove them right in. So they open it up, and that's why it's called the torch, because you can hold it like a torch as you're blowing it into flame, and then you've got time to manipulate it and take it wherever you want. Really, I'm struggling on the grasses side. Thought I had a big bag full somewhere and I've already used it, or it's disappeared. So I will do tomorrow morning. I'll go and get some grasses, maybe do a little bit of a video on that to show you. But for now, we can stuff the core with what we've got here. Hopefully. And you can manipulate the twigs round if they're in your way. The hammer do. These are all sorts of grasses that have been in the bag for a long while, so I know the powder dry. Not quite enough in there. You're getting the idea. Really, I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel, so they say. There's a lot of dust, but it will all burn. So you're going to pack that out. Probably a bit more on the grasses side of it. Keeping it hollow in the middle as much as you can. So what we'll do, if we're doing two different cinder bundles, is we will ignite a mushroom or piece of punk wood, and we will then take off the one ember created with the bow drill, presuming I get an ember. Nothing's ever certain. And we will take the ember and ignite both the bird's nest that I'll create and the torch, and you can make your own minds up. So we've got that far. So I think now we'll go for a bit of the Tether latifolia, which I'm sure you'll remember now. And we'll shove that in there, making your core nice and fluffy. Like I said, I don't know if this will work or not. You never do. You can't guarantee anything with nature, apart from it's going to rain at some point. So let's give me a nice soft core to drop the ember in. And it's snowing. Then what should we have? Well, I think we'll go for a bit of this. It's a bit too dry. Little thin strips like that, just around the edges of this. It will all break down. Around the edge. Maybe manipulate a few more twigs to hold it better. Keep a core for it. Maybe a bit of birch bark if we can get any off. Yeah, it's a nice piece. A bit hard. The reason birch bark is so good, it has an oil in it, little betulin. Can't get it to peel. You know, strips like that, and then just feather them down. Again, just round the edges of it. Not the prettiest one I've ever made. But everything you do is going to add to it. That's a piece. And I'm sure most of you all know birch bark will burn even when it's wet. It's the most excellent fire starter out there. Along with many, many other uses. And it holds the oil pretty much until it rots away. You'll find trees on the ground rotted away and the birch bark's still there and still perfectly usable. So something on the lines of that. I might add a bit more to it when I get some more grasses, just to enlarge it a bit. But that's going to be the idea. You'll then take your piece of ember, whether it's straight from the bow drill once it's consolidated, or from your mushrooms, or your punk wood, or whatever else you decided to use, and you'll place your ember in there and you will just blow it into flame. The beauty of that is that the birch bark and the honeysuckle bark and any other little bits of bark like that in there will ignite first, and you'll be able to twist it in your hand and ignite the twigs and then carry it around to where you want. If you've watched my video, you've already seen that. That was done with a larch. As I said, this is willow branches that are dry. Never tried it with willow. We'll see if it works.